What's good, everybody? It is your boy, and welcome to the Neg Entropy Chronicles. I am back with another video, so remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell to be alerted anytime I drop a new video. So, doing some new stuff. It is reaction videos, and I'm still going to be talking the same style that I do from the other videos that you've seen if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we're gonna be talking about the paternity court today, so let's get it cracking. All right, I would be sipping too while
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is the case of Carr versus Villa.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Carr, you state that Miss Villa is a notorious cheater who tried to pin her daughter Trinity on you.
Yes, Your Honor.
You claim there is no way you are the father and had to open today's case because she's been running from you and a DNA test for 3 years.
wait a minute. What is it? The Burgerants? The Burgerants? Yo, no, I ain't even gonna get into that.
Yes,
Is that
Your
correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Talk about that.
Ms. Villa, you admit to making mistakes in your relationship with the defendant, but you and your best friend want to prove he fathered your daughter, Trinity. You hope today's DNA result.
What knowledge do your best friend got? You know what I mean? What's the rule? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe? How your best friend gonna be able to partake in this information? Think about it.
Help you get Mr. Carr back. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Carr, you say you had to open up today's case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell the court why.
Your Honor, because her nickname is Heartbreaker.
You know, so the title, it says she cheated 8 times. I can't be the father. I don't care how many times a person cheat. It take one time. All right? So if those are the running points that you got, garbage. Flat out. Let's get back into it.
What does that
From
have
the
anything to
beginning
do with
of the
Trinity?
relationships that we had together, she was a liar, a cheater, and no good for nothing. Just to be honest.
But you still stayed with me.
That's what I was just
Actually-
about to say.
Actually, Your
Yes, you
Honor,
did. You
she
continued to
stayed
have
with
sex
me.
with me and everything else, and you allowed me back.
The reason I kept taking her back because I wanted to prove, like, we both have a history in the past. Like me, before I became a loyal man, I was just like her, jumping from person to person to person. But over time, I noticed that it was time for me to settle down.
Okay.
You
She was
tell
the
her
person-
different than what you told me.
She was the person that I wanted to settle down with.
All right, so you decided this is the woman you wanted to settle down with, but unfortunately, she was behaving the way you used to behave in relationship.
Not
But
in relationships.
You gonna save her.
I tried to. You
All
can't
right,
play-
so Miss Villa, no, I want to understand what's happening here.
You know, it's a sad thing. Now, this might be as karma as they say. You running around in the streets, you know you're going to end up dating somebody that acted like you used to. Possibly. But who is you proving it to? That's my question, because it sounds like he said before her, but it sounds like he was doing it during. I don't know, because who's he trying to prove it to? Himself? To the Lord? I don't know.
How did the relationship start for you?
He hit me up on Facebook, and it went from a one night stand to us having a kid.
Wow,
Wait, what?
that is a huge jump, Jerome. Jump with a capital J.
For real? Like,
And it turned into a relationship
Yes.
from just meeting on Facebook.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you all decided, what is this, love at first sight for you all? Like, what you were just
No,
like,
no, Your Honor.
we want to do this?
The problem was I couldn't get rid of her, Your Honor.
You said you wanted
If you
to save her.
wanted me gone, you would have spoke up and told me to get out.
And I did.
No,
each
you
time.
didn't.
And that's not what you just
And that's
testified
not
to.
what you were
You said
telling me.
you met a girl that you liked and you really wanted to try to build a relationship with her, but she was not acting in a way that was conducive to a committed relationship.
For an example.
So how did you find out she was cheating on you?
For an example,
I told
when
him
we
each
had
time.
when we had went to Athens,
I told him each time he would let me leave, and I would come back, and I let him know that I did it. And he still took me back.
And what would you
Well,
let
I
him
mean,
know, Miss
hold on.
V?
is that cheating? You know, y'all gotta let me know. Is it cheating when you send the person on, y'all not together? You know, she came back, said, hey, you know, this is what I did after you kicked me out because we weren't together no more. I don't deem that as cheating. Y'all might be working through it and all of that, but let's go back to the Facebook thing. How is it that y'all meet on Facebook and have a one-night stand and then somehow end up in a relationship? I'm confused. The internet age is different. I almost sound old, but I'm not. But you get it?
Yeah, that I messed around with the person I left with.
Was it always the same person?
Basically, yeah.
No, Your Honor. She
Yes,
cheated
it was.
8 different times with 8 different people.
8 different times with
Yes,
8
ma'am.
different people.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
In the beginning, no.
She
No,
hold on.
You're a liar. Tony.
Wait a minute. She cheated on you 8 different times with 8 different people?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Yes,
that's
Your
not how it
Honor.
went. There was times I did cheat on him, and there was times we were broken up, and I'm
You're
messed around.
sitting
Just
here
like he
admitting
kicked
that
me
you're
out
cheating now. So
to sleep with another
with that
girl in a
being
place we
said,
shared together. So you need to get your story straight and tell your
my whole
part
point
too.
is you're admitting that you're cheating. Why not admit the full truth? Because
I
full
admitted
truth
I
is the only
cheated,
thing that's going to
but
set you free.
So how did you
happened
find
when we
it out,
were
Mr.
together?
Carr? How did you come to know she was cheating and sleeping with somebody else, which would warrant you believing Trinity is not your biological child?
The times of conception. The times of conception was she slept with a man on the 31st of January.
There's only one child. So is it times or time of conception? The times of conceptions. Man, the English language is powerful. Learn the English language, people.
Tony,
Me and
she
her
was-
slept together on February the 14th. 3 days later, the 17th, she tells me that she's pregnant. I'm like, how are you pregnant?
Tony, you're a liar.
If we just slept together on the 14th, then how do you know that you're pregnant? How in the world do you know that you're pregnant?
You
If we
told me
slept
I was
together-
So
pregnant.
you
You're a
have
liar.
sex 3 days later and she tells you now I'm pregnant.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you thinking like, how do you know you pregnant 3 days after we just have sex?
Exactly, Your Honor.
Tell us some more lies, Tony. Keep going.
I don't have to
I
lie.
conceived
It's
her
the truth.
February 14th when we had sex in his car.
So you're saying, Miss Villa, you had sex with Mr. Carr where?
In one of his friend's car when he picked
You see how she said Mr. Carr because she ain't even going to try the first name. Do not forget that first name. I tried to pronounce it and it didn't go well.
us up. He picked us up and we did it right there with him driving.
That was on the 14th.
Wait, what?
He picked us up and we did it right there with him driving.
That was on the 14th.
Whatever happened to safety issues in vehicles? You just gonna do it while you're driving? You know, is that considered a DUI? Driving under the influence?
That was on the
Tony,
14th.
I didn't tell you I was pregnant until a couple of weeks later.
So wait a minute. Mr. Carr and his friend came to pick you up. You had sex with Mr. Carr in the back of the friend's car while he was driving?
Yep.
And that's the day you think Trinity was conceived?
Yep.
With Mr. Carr
Yep.
in the car,
Yes.
the back of the car.
Look at her face.
It was me and him having sex.
Said, look
Right.
at the audacity.
But you say that's not the case.
I don't believe that's the case because of the 31st of January is when
gotta
she
see
slept
my
with
mother's ears.
the other guy.
Tony, no, it's not.
So with that being said, January, I have a
I had
memory.
her
It's
3
burned
weeks
into my
later.
head. It's burned into my head.
How do you know it was the 31st?
Because, Your Honor, if you have your child on October the 31st, that means that it is the other man's
You're a
child.
liar. Trinity
Because
was
that's
due
exactly 9
November
months.
21st. I had her 3 weeks early.
So you're saying the conception window is off, Miss Villa, because since
Okay, so if you do not know how this goes, women are pregnant for pretty much 10 months, not 9 months. It's 10 months. That's just how it is. All right, so if he's counting 9 months, then his numbers is already off already. And she's like, oh, it's 3 weeks early. So everybody's off on their numbers.
Trinity was born early, you technically would have had a due date of 3 weeks later than
Yes,
that.
she was due November 21st of 2015. I had her October 31st.
And so you're saying that would have put you during the window of time when you were intimate with Mr. Carr in the back of the car.
Yes.
Okay. If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell.
Yeah, make sure y'all do that.
I know Trinity belongs to him.
But Mr. Carr, you aren't so sure.
I'm not so sure, Your Honor. And it's hurtful because I have to
Mr.
live with
Carr-
this pain every single
kid.
day.
Tony, you chose to
trying
do that. You were
chose
there
for you
on
to
and
go cheat?
off, on and
Okay.
off.
Anyways,
So
I live with
Trinity,
this pain every
Trinity
day.
is 3 years old. Do you have a relationship with her?
yes, Your Honor, I'm with her every day of the week, just about every day of the week.
Here's an annoying situation that I have with men. If you do not believe the child is yours, why spend time with the child, embed your time with the child when you don't believe the child is yours? Because you're already showing some funny emotions towards the child. You may not do it consciously. You're probably going to do it subconsciously. You're probably going to look at the child funny. The kid going to look at you and be like, yo, why is my dad looking at me like that? You can't maneuver like that. If you really believe that kid ain't yours, you're supposed to get on it from the moment that the child's born and get that handled. Period. Stop wasting your time. This kid is 3 years old and you sitting here talking about 3 years later that this kid's not mine, but you're keeping her around every day. There's a problem in that. Just in your procrastination aspect. Go back and look at my video, Procrastination is a Disease. For real, check it out. But this is ridiculous.
Play my role as a father. No matter what it is, no matter how much pain or how much that eats me up inside, I still treat her like she's my own child.
And that hurts you. I can see how emotional that makes you. Why are you feeling so emotional?
Because I didn't deserve that. I didn't deserve to go through what I went through.
But you kept taking me back.
When you say you didn't
And you're
deserve
bragging about being a cheater? Who in the world would take you back if you're sitting there
You don't,
bragging
that's the
about being a
problem.
cheater?
You don't let me talk ever.
You kept on saying, oh, you kept on
You
taking me
did,
back.
Tony. You kept
okay, I
taking
kept
me
on
back,
taking you
and you
back,
kept-
and at least somebody loved you enough to take you back or even give you a chance. It eats me up. It really does. No matter how much somebody brags, oh, you kept on taking me back. Like I said, because somebody
Tony,
loved
nobody's
you.
bragging about that. That's the problem. You don't let me talk.
I'm going to let you talk, Miss Via, because I want you to have a chance to speak.
He wants me to understand his pain, but don't understand mine.
Understand your pain as much
You know
pain
how
as I went through.
frustrating
I'm
it
sorry.
is
I could not understand
raising
how
kids
somebody
by myself?
could hurt.
Shut up and let her talk.
Raising
bro.
kids by
Yes.
yourselves?
See, you left 5 days
But
before I had Trinity, and then told me you slept with 3 other girls I knew you slept with.
Yes,
So
I
keep
did.
on. Tell your
admitted 3
part
other
instead of
females
mine.
I slept with
It wasn't
after
just
we were
3.
broke up.
Okay, and I did a lot of this when we're broken up, but I'm a cheater.
All right, listen.
Sound like he calling you a
Both
cheater
of
based
you
on
all
what you did before.
obviously
During
weren't
the
doing the right thing.
Now
That's
we're
obvious.
separated.
You don't get to this point with one person being a saint and the other one being the sinner. Life just doesn't work like that. And I'm not going to accept you just painting that picture of her, because I know there has to be a yin to this yang, right? So now, I want to go back to talking about Trinity. And I want to understand the type of relationship you've built with this beautiful little girl over the past 3 years, and why it brings you to tears when you think about the fact that you may not be her biological father.
Your Honor, because to me, she is my queen. I look at her and she looks back at me and she smiles back at me. That said, I'm doing something right. At least she's happy. Even if my happiness never comes, at least she's happy. And that's all that matters.
All right, that's weird. First off, that's your daughter, so she your princess. She not your queen. Let's get that out of there. And second of all, having that child with you should bring you happiness. Period. You got a kid, you gonna be happy that those children are yours. You know what I mean? It's not these moments where he's like, even if my happiness never comes. Man, you're supposed to be happy that you have this child with you. If that's what you're standing up to be, that's what you're standing up to do. I don't understand why people use this verbiage as if they're making moves like the child isn't theirs. If you really believe the child wasn't yours, you wouldn't even be there to begin with. But instead, you're there, so you should be happy about that. See, once again, he's telling on himself he's not happy, and I guarantee you he's not showing that he's happy to that child. Whether it's not all the time, but there are moments where he's showing it flat out.
That's all.
I think we also have to be honest about the fact that you look at her and you see her smile. If we're being very honest, you also look and say, I wonder if she's mine. And that's also the pain behind those tears.
Yes, Mom. It's both ways. It's like a two-edged sword. It cuts both ways. it heals me, but then it scars me at the same time too.
And as much as you love this beautiful little girl, you've been trying to get a DNA test for this little girl for a very long time. You've actually brought an exhibit with you to court that outlines this testimony.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you
Yes,
please
Your Honor.
step up to the monitor and let's review this exhibit?
Now, before he gets into this, I just want to understand, because when I did it didn't take that much time to get the test done. You know what I mean? Like, I went to the house, like, all right, let's go ahead and handle this. Whoop, 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 whoop. Got it done. Yeah, it took a little bit, you know, maybe, well, daughter was 2 months. Didn't take that much time. We're talking about 3 years. You've been picking up the kid, hanging with the kid, all of that. Hanging with this child, doing all of that. You couldn't go get a kit here or go to the court. Because I went to the court. I'm like, yo, let's go ahead and get this handled. Me and her mother were there with my daughter. Boom, we did one at the home, got the paperwork back, but I'm like, let's go get it official at the court. Boom, we agreed on it, got it done. So to make 3 years, because this is new age stuff. This dude is young, she's young. So these are not people that are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. It's a lot different back then. They didn't just go and get it done. It was a different time. So to turn around and say, I've been trying for 3 years. No, you haven't, bro. They've been had DNA kits. They've been able to allow men to go to the courts and get that stuff handled. Something ain't adding up, honestly. And if he really puts it on her like she's dodging him, but yet somehow he's able to have his kid and he's able to pick his child up, something's off. Like, the numbers ain't matching, all right? Pure nonsense.
So you say she's been running away from a DNA test?
Yes, Your Honor. I was in Alabama. She was in Tampa, Florida. I tried to hook the cases together. As soon as she received the letter, she moves from Tampa, Florida to Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
You were told I was moving.
From Muscle Shoals, Alabama, she moves to Decatur, Alabama. That's when we stayed together for the little bit that we did.
Right there. Y'all stayed together. The child was already born. I need to know how long they stayed together before I say this.
From Decatur, Alabama, she moves from Decatur to Chicago, Illinois.
Right there. So before you knew she was going to leave, you as a man should have been like, nope. Before you leave, let's knock this down. Everybody swab up. Right now. Swoop, 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 swoop. The moment that y'all were living together, when you sent the court case down to Tampa, then to Shoals, to the part in Alabama over there on the left side of the map, then she comes and stays with you. Test should have been done right there because you got access to your child. He got to take accountability for that.
And I opened cases each time then. You're wrong,
Each
Tony.
time she opened the case, I believe she purposely spelled my name incorrectly because she
I went
had
back
one
to
of my
Decatur
work
to make sure he
badges
was a
on
father
her
to his
each and
kids.
every time.
Can't
Anyways,
spell your
from
name.
Chicago,
What you
Illinois, she moved from Chicago, Illinois to Nashville, Tennessee. From Nashville, Tennessee, she moves to Rogersville, Alabama. From Rogersville, Alabama, she moves to Russellville, Alabama.
Sheesh.
From Russellville, Alabama, she moves back to Decatur, Alabama.
These are a lot of moves.
Yes, it is. But each time I moved, it was to get him to be around the kid.
This was a span of what?
She's making a music note, Your Honor.
Funny.
We are not making music in here. That's for sure.
Terrible.
You may step back to your
Cursive.
podium.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, Miss Via, what are you feeling now?
Back
Tell
is
me,
up.
why are you
Frustrated.
crying? Why do you
Because all
feel-
he does, he don't listen to me. He don't take in what I have to say.
Miss McDonald, you're here supporting your best friend. What has she...
Now it's weird. She moved 8 times, and she said each time she moved was to be closer to him. So where was he during all of this time that he's had her all the time? Got to look at that, because he never denied that he didn't have a kid around him all those times. This is a weird one. I'm telling you, this one's weird.
expressed to you about this entire paternity question?
She's been wanting it a lot. A couple of times she's complained to me that he has not been wanting it.
He doesn't want
You
to go on
mean
the
wanting to
child
get the
support.
DNA test?
Yes.
I don't mind child support. Why would you put me on child support if I'm supporting my child already?
You help with diapers here and there. I've
If
been
you
doing
don't
it
want me
since day
part
one,
of
Tony, so
Trinity's
don't
life,
try
then
that.
just say so.
Tony, you've
try
been
that.
coming around
I learned
lately.
from my grandmother.
Not
to
for the
feed-
past 3
well,
years.
I learned from a
You
family
have been
member.
coming around
Let's
lately
get to
because
order.
You know why? Because she keeps moving and people get tired of reaching out. Here.
No, Tony.
She
What do
has
you
reached
expect
out to
somebody
you
to do?
plenty of
Bow
times.
down to it. You're crazy.
Let's get some
Thank
order.
you.
I
Thank
know
you.
how frustrated everybody is, but
ridiculous.
we're here to tell our truth. I'm giving everybody the opportunity. And Miss McDonald, before you start screaming across the aisle, I do want you to testify as to what you know. You say she confides in you. Did she ever say that she was with another man during the window of conception?
Yes.
She
A
did
one
say
night
that.
stand, yes.
So she did tell you
All
that
it
during the
take is
window
one
of
time.
time when Trinity was conceived, she did have a one-night stand with someone else.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Miss
One time.
Via, that's not what you testified to here.
In the period of time of me getting pregnant and stuff, I messed around with the guy a couple of weeks before him.
Homegirl snitched on her. Did she break girl code? Because I know girl code say you ain't even supposed to mention stuff like that. But every time that you see this go on, I know that you 100%. I used to watch Maury. Maury used to be the show. We used to call that "You Are Not the Father" show at one point. But these women be like, I know for 1,000% that you's the father. And then they be like, you are not the father. Them people run off the stage. Only because they left out an important piece of information. So yeah, if you got with somebody else, then admit that. Just save everybody time. But still, at the end of the day, both of them are trash. She moving around, he moving around, or he's like, I'm trying to get closer, she trying to get close. When they was in Decatur, they could have got that handled. The math, once again, like I said, the math ain't adding up, period. They definitely should have got this handled when they were living together. If he truly believed from the day that she was born, prior to her being born, if he really believed that the child wasn't his, he could have put in the work as soon as she was born to make sure that was his child, period.
When I messed with that guy, it was more of a revenge thing because of the stuff he was doing to me.
Miss
Well,
Via,
revenge
was that
things can
sex
cost you.
protected sex or unprotected sex?
Unprotected.
All right. And that's enough to make paternity doubt.
If you roll the dice, you can either get snake eyes or win. That's it.
Did you ever tell him you were pregnant?
Yes, I told him in front of him. I caught him and told him. Even after I had Trinity, he
the stuff down at the
asked me for
bottom like
pictures of
that.
Trinity and stuff. His family says that she looks like him and everything. The guy.
So the
caused-
other guy's
Girl.
family says Trinity looks like him?
Yes, looks like Tony.
Oh, looks like Mr. Carr.
Yes, he even denies her.
All right, well, the only way we can move forward now is just to get the results. Jerome, I'm ready for the envelope, please.
I need the information.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of
I rub my
Carr
hands together like
versus
Birdman.
Via, when it comes
That
to
Birdman hand
3-year-old Trinity Via, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Carr, you are the father.
Oh! Oh!
That's your beautiful
Y'all
little
look happy.
girl.
Yes, Mom.
Are you happy?
I'm excited.
No, he not.
Yes, Mom. I finally got my closure.
I'm so happy. So they say
If he really believe, like, he ain't happy, because I'd have been like, yes, something, you know what I mean? Whatever. But he was like, yeah. There's one crying because she probably like, I wish he'd have been there from the beginning.
when we close one door, we open what?
Another door.
Right. So we've closed the door of doubt. Now we need to open the door of possibilities of communication, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Of trust. If you all want to try to be a couple, you guys got a lot of work to do.
No, that ain't happening.
I've seen dysfunction of epic proportion. And the things that I've heard, no child should have to endure. We have counseling and resources for you, and we want you to take advantage of it because we want Trinity to have the village she deserves, right?
Right.
You say she's a queen,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And so you all have to get it together so that she knows her worth
Yep.
and knows her value, okay?
That's an
Yes.
angry
I wish
looking
you the
child
very
right
best.
now.
Court is adjourned.
That child been looking at them people like, why y'all got this camera on me? The feds is looking for me. We need to stop this right now. So look, if y'all rocking with the video, comment on it, like it, share it, all of that. Be on the lookout for more videos and good looking. I appreciate everybody showing love. Have a good night. Peace.